couldn't find any good photos of Donald Sutherland other than that one for the film. It's so
Yeah,
darkly lit on that
it
film.
is, dude. That whole movie is. Yes.
All right, let's get to going.
This is how it is today on Pop Culture Minefield. This is how it is today. This is how it is today on Pop Culture Minefield.
Yeah, baby. All right, fuck. Sorry, I got handed a note. So it says, question, what do you get when you cross a cantaloupe with Lassie?
Oh my God.
Anybody?
Something
Anybody?
collie. I don't know.
Melancholy.
Melancholy. There we go. Okay. Melancholy.
And I just shot her a look like, oh,
So is
dad
Christian
jokes.
Delorme sending you dad jokes? Is that what he's doing? Is that
No, I was handed the note. Christian
it
Dorn
Lauren?
does some jokes like that. No.
He's the king of dad jokes, let me tell you.
Yeah.
King of dad
Is that-
jokes. Who do we have in the chat now?
I thought it was my
Oh,
feet.
Snortopoopus is here. Good morning, Snort. How? Andy Morrow is here. Limey bastard extraordinaire. Let's see. Anybody else here yet? No, that's it. Good morning, guys. So we're going to be talking about this classic film. Anima, I heard Anima laughing at it. It's a funny film. I agree, Joe. I don't think they can make this film today. Not in the
They
current
couldn't. No.
climate in Hollywood.
Too much
They would have
misogyny,
to
as
work
they like
outside.
to say.
There's a ton of not misogyny, but sexism in there.
Yeah, sexism.
And
man.
I think a couple of them, one in particular, borders on misogyny. The shower scene has always bothered me since I was a kid. I just was like, I would never do that. And I don't find
Yeah.
it funny. And that the nurses partook in it kind of pissed me off. Because I consider that bullying. That's why it was never funny to me. But everything else was like really hilarious, you know. The way they got into fucking Frank Burns' head and sent him to the fucking cuckoo.
You know,
It's hilarious.
you've seen the TV show so many times. You forget that the great Robert Duvall was the first guy to play Frank Burns. You forget about that, you know?
Great
I mean,
actor,
man.
Oscar-winning
Yes.
actor. This guy, and he's not in the film all that long, really. When you look at it,
No.
it's like right after they do that one prank, he loses his fucking mind and gets sent to the fucking hospital on what they refer to in the film as a Section 8, which again I pointed out. Section 8 is a misnomer. During World War II, there was a subsection in a medical discharge that refers to mental, and it was a Section 8, but it got changed during and/or right after World War II, and so there is no Section 8. And in the military, they didn't start using it as slang in the military until MASH came out.
Mm-hmm.
He just sort of died. Yeah, his quizzling. Yeah, I know how Alan Alda can get. But I'll tell you what, he actually served in the Korean War. So,
Yeah, gotta give him that, guys.
He gets a pass with me. But yeah, he's always moralizing. It was frustrating.
He is, by the way, fantastic in my favorite show ever, West Wing. He's fantastic in the late.
Never watched an
show.
episode,
dude.
Because the showrunner is a big old lefty, not a liberal. Fucking lefty.
Yeah.
So I just wouldn't watch the show. I don't like supporting socialists. But someone join us here. Who's this? Who's
Yes. Gavin Devine, apparently from Brazil, is a new viewer.
Brazil.
Oh,
Welcome to the show, my friend. And of course, Slasher Fred is here. I hope Hot Lips Blindness isn't a hospital. It's an insane asylum. Yeah, they stole that from Planet of the Apes. And she was Stephen Ransom's here. Good morning, Korea Nam. And it is, by the way, if you didn't know that. The book is absolute. If you ever read the books, they're really good, by the way. The author hated this movie. And he was none too fond of the TV series either. He says they missed the point of what I was writing about completely. And I'm like, well, look, they're two different animals, and I've kind of shit on Stephen King for whining about The Shining. So I can't, not do the same thing to him. But at the same time, they did take his story, which was a story about Korean War doctors and what they went through and everything. And they made a movie about the Vietnam War. And that's all. I mean, when you see the football players pass it, Jay.
They weren't smoking dope in Korea. Yeah.
Not in Korea. That never happened.
No.
But I love that film. So did you find that funny that Google
Altman
had that word?
He's a different kind of guy. Robert Altman.
For sure. He is. He's one of my favorite directors because of that. I mean, he made Popeye, for God's sake.
Yeah.
I love that movie. It's one of my favorite musicals of all time. And it's so bizarre. It really is. But at the same time, it's so beautiful. And I just remember going to see that as a kid, and I watched it. I was a teenager when it came out. I think I was 14. My dad and I went to see it together. My dad was like, that wasn't bad. I went, I think I like that, Dad. That was like, it's like I have so many problems with it, but at the same time, that was a true homage to the classic Popeye comic strips, which came out of Europe. Popeye was created by a Scandinavian. I forget what country. I keep thinking the Netherlands.
Sometimes good stuff comes from Europe.
It's like King Features Syndicate, published them and then turned them into cartoons. And it became Americanized because of King Features. And but before that, there was no nationality to it at all. But it felt very European in the way it was drawn. And I love the way that the original comic strips were drawn. And you had his Pappy and Sweet Pea, Olive Oil. Olive Oil was not a good-looking woman.
No.
She was very round-headed, big-nosed.
They perfectly cast that movie. I mean...
Oh, and I always felt bad for her because, being cast as the unattractive Olive Oil and then being... abused by Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, I know.
Like her early career was rough.
But let me ask you something about that movie, though. Do you think that movie might have been an inspiration to Tim Burton? Because the sets of that show really, you watch it
no,
again,
sets were designed to look like the comic strips.
Yeah, and what I'm saying, they're so over the top. It looks like something that Tim Burton would have put together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would have no doubts that he probably loved that film.
Yeah.
I would bet you money he did. Let's see. Let's see what's going on in the chat here. Book is a bunch of fun beatnik stuff. Yeah, it was beatnik. It was the 50s, man. And but I loved the characters in the book. And they kind of got a little bit of the flavor when they go to Hanoi in the film.
Oh my God!
I mean, not Hanoi. They didn't go to Hanoi. They went. Where is it? The major Korean city.
Yeah, they say it. Everybody always wants a pass to go there in the TV show. God, what was it?
Hang on.
Seoul.
What was it? Was that the accent?
Seoul. That's it. Yeah, Seoul. Yeah.
You sound like you were saying Zool. There's only Zool. No Dana. Only Zool. What makes this movie funny is that it tries to serious, but it also does comedy. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Martin. Um, but I really did enjoy the film. I had problems with it because of my dad. My dad was the one who pointed out to me when we saw the film that it was this wasn't about Korea, it was about Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
And I remained aware of it when I got older, and it always bothered me. But at the same time, I'm like, look, Hollywood hated fucking the war in Vietnam. And then they act like they love the veterans. And how do they show that love? By just describing Vietnam veterans as all broken and dysfunctional.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Go fuck yourself. Hollywood has never understood post-traumatic stress disorder, ever.
Oh, well, how would they? Unless they'd actually served, you know. Not many of them have, so they wouldn't understand it at all.
Wait a minute. The DOP said he shot the moon while the Apollo mission was up there. Well, that's funny. DOP, of course, is director of photography. Huh. And that's where the comedy comes from, is serious situations and the way the antics and behaviors of these hard drinking, hard fucking doctors and nurses.
Yeah, they work hard, they play hard. That's what the whole story's about. Yeah.
And they do talk about it because it's also in the book, is that they're all married. They're banging around with each other. You know, happens in Korea stays in Korea, or
Stays in Korea.
You know, they say in the military, what happens on deployment stays on deployment.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember getting introduced to other spouses because I stayed stateside for our child, and I've told you guys that story. It's how my military career kind of ended, fizzled,
Right.
you know, because someone had to take care of the kid. Sure as hell wasn't going to be her.
Mm-hmm.
So I stayed. So she got deployed, and I joined this organization of spouses, and they're all women. I was the only one there. And all they could talk about was, you know, like, well, I'm okay. Well, Tom slept with so-and-so and Billy slept with so-and-so. I'm just like, you know, that's what happens on deployment because they're highly stressed, blah, blah. And I'm like, I've been highly stressed and I would never do that.
Yeah.
That's such a lame excuse.
It is a lame excuse, in my opinion. And nearly cost my wife her career because she did. And with one of her sergeants.
Yeah, and that's not good. Yeah.
I got wind of it. I figured it out, is what I did. And I went to the final phone call where I'm talking to her commanding officer. And he says, this phone call is the final phone call. We've looked into it. You have a case. You have to call for it. You have to decide right now. And I couldn't do it. I'm just too fucking nice. Because I did not want to destroy her career. Because that's what was going to happen.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to do it. So, anyway. Infidelity in the military when deployed is like up there.
Yeah.
My sergeant, Dave Hope, banged around all the time when his wife wasn't there when she was deployed. And I was just like, I frowned on that shit, but I love Dave. Dave was a great sergeant, man. I always had great NCOs, just top notch.
I guess
but he got me into a hell of a bar fight once. So there's a photo of him. His face is fucked up. Mine isn't. Because he started the fight, and I kind of finished it. And I hit a guy so fucking hard with the beer mug. It's a full beer mug when I hit him. I saw him coming, and he tagged Dave. But right as he tagged him, I reached around his head with a beer mug. And the beer mug is right here, big, thick glass thing. And I broke that beer mug on that guy.
You punched him with a beer mug.
I broke it on his head, and all that was left in my hand was the broken handle.
Wow.
And everybody's like, what the fuck just happened? And I grabbed Dave and grabbed a couple other guys. Let's go. Yeah. You don't want to be in a bar fight. Been in them. They're ugly. They're ugly. They're not like the movies. You never know where you're going to get hit from.
I guess you'd call me the enabler. I was the driver for the fuck ups.
That is Slasher Fred. That is one of my favorite things of the film, because a lot of, if not all, up to that point, all the radio stuff, the announcements were based on real announcements.
Yeah.
And in fact, they've said that there's so many of them in the film that you can make an entire short film out of them. Right. It'd be like right around 60 minutes.
That's one of the things that carried over to the TV show was the PA announcements. Yeah.
Yep. And I always liked that. Cool. I always liked that. But in the film, I thought the announcements were better. I thought Radar was a better character in the film than he is on the show.
Well, yeah, his part is minimal. It's not.
Yeah, but at the same time, he actually would talk before. What's his name? His captain, or colonel. Sorry, the colonel in charge of the camp. He would say what the colonel was about to say, and then the colonel would say it. Yeah. So he was ahead of him by about a full beat.
Right.
And they're talking at the same time, and it's funny as hell when he does it. And
that
guy,
how
long they had to practice that.
That guy that played the colonel, he was a fixture in Hollywood for many, many years. Wasn't he in some Navy
movie?
And
he always reminded me of, in this film, reminded me of Peter Sellers. And it felt like that's what they were going for. Is they were looking
the idiot savant, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Henry Blake. Yes. Thank you, Max.
My God, Henry Blake. Yes. The saddest moment on the television show when he went home. Right?
They did that because they were pissed at him for leaving.
Oh.
And that's why he dies. But it was one of the most emotional episodes in the history of the show.
I think the story goes they didn't tell the cast what he was going to read. I don't think any of them knew what was going on with the story. So they could get genuine reactions from him when they filmed it.
Yeah, sure and a lot of people get confused with the film as to who's Hawkeye and who's Trapper John.
Elliot Gould's Trapper John.
Yeah. And
Donald Sutherland's Hawkeye.
Donald Sutherland's Hawkeye.
Yep.
I always thought it was kind of obvious.
And Donald Sutherland, look, his Hawkeye is much different from the guy on the TV show. He's Alan Alda's character is a lot more outspoken. Sutherland is much more reserved. He's more like the straight guy. His
Trapper John is the more aggressive guy.
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
And that's why Wayne Rogers quit the TV series, because they started writing down his character and writing up Hawkeye. And he's like, this be we're both stars of the show.
Right.
And he got pissed and left. And I always thought it was wrong that they recast Trapper John when he got his own series. That they should have gone to Wayne Rogers, who also, by the way, not so many with the film were veterans, but a lot of the cast in the TV series were veterans. Alan Alda, Wayne Rogers, Mike Farrell, who took Wayne Rogers' place, was a former Marine, U.S. Marine Corps. Let's see. Not Blake. I don't think he served, but I know that
Potter.
Colonel Potter served. Harry Morgan. He served in World War II.
Yeah.
Hey, Janet from Another Planet is here.
Say what?
Look at that. Max Damon is here. Let's see. Last McLean Stevenson wanted to be on Hello Larry, which actually watched. It was terrible. I brought you a fish. Num num num. And Janet, did you hear the song I sent out last night? It's my love song to every soldier, like Vindicated. Every soldier who ever left a piece of themselves in the battlefield or brought a piece of the war home with them. Oh, Hello Larry. My dad enjoyed the show too. He was a big McLean Stevenson fan. He loved it when McLean Stevenson got the guest host on the Tonight Show. But yeah, he kind of there was a lot of drinking, and he had problems drinking. So that's okay. I'm going to play it here so everybody can enjoy it for a second. This is my veteran song. It has a cuss word in it. I apologize if that offends you. Too fucking bad, right?
This
Wrong
is a
fucking
military show.
I'd say. Yeah, you're offended by an F-bomb, you're in the wrong show.
Right.
Yeah, you're in the right show.
Wrong fucking show.
Have you played the disclaimer in a long time that you used to use on
No.
Dangerousville?
No. I was only doing that during the radio show. I could care
Right.
less on
Yeah.
PCM.
But it's still a great piece.
Darkest night, we hold on tight. The flare burns bright, yet it brings no light. Chaotic shadows on the ground, yet we make no sound. Like hardened steel, we do not break down, and we feel the flow in every cell in this fucking hell. Then we feel each blow through our skin, like our every sin. Deep within this flesh and bone, let its own flow. And the people walking by will never know. And the blood we spilled on the ground had its own flow. And the pain for the souls we lost, we must never show. We must never show. We do as we were told as we stay in our holes. These lines will not break no matter what they throw. And the flow is wide and we're taken by its tide. While the burst of a billion suns burns everything inside. We feel the flow in every cell in this fucking hell. Then we feel each blow through our skin, like our every sin. Deep within this flesh and bone has its own flow. And the people walking by will never know. And the blood we spilled on the ground had its own flow. And the pain for the souls we lost, we must never show. We must never show. In the darkest night, our teeth clenched tight through a firefight as our guns light the sky. And the flow is wide and we're taken by its tide. It's not about command, it's about the man at my side. And we feel the flow in every cell in this fucking
Man,
hell.
you get high doing that now. Shit.
Then we feel each blow through our skin like our every sin. Deep within this flesh and bone lies its own flow. And the people walking by will never know. And the blood we spilled on the ground had its own flow. And the pain for the souls we lost, we must never show. We must never show. We must never show. We do as we're told. We are lost in the flow. In the flow. We do as we're told. And we are lost in the flow. We do as we're told. And we are lost in the flow. We are lost in the flow. We are lost in the flow, in the flow, in the flow. We do as we are told.
Good
There
stuff.
you go.
Now you wrote that, the lyrics. Did you
Yeah.
write the music too?
I wrote
or-
the music too. Yeah,
That's excellent, man.
the original
Were
music.
you playing the drums on
It
it?
did not play that.
Okay.
No, the synthesized.
Okay.
What I do is I go in and I use the programming to do the music through synthesizers.
Gotcha. Very cool, man. Very cool. My brother's been
Which is
doing
why-
that a lot, so
My
Yeah.
band Jimmy Hill and Mac will have to re-record everything. That's why these are listed as demos.
mhm. Very cool,
Nice.
dude. That's all I got to tell you. Very cool. Enjoyed it.
Yeah,
And
I
you know
wrote
what?
this in it's in B. The chords are B, G, B, and E.
I just
These are
think
the only chords in the song.
I like the nuance that this could be interpreted as a trench or foxhole. You know, it could be a song from any era of warfare.
Yeah, because
Gerry, the chords are B minor, B, G, and E. I just
That's
found
it.
your message.
I was trying to remember the chords because I always write them down.
Mhm.
So I remember the chords. I think I even showed you the chords, didn't I, hon?
Yeah, that's how I know.
Oh, there you go. I thought maybe it was because you can
I'm not that
recognize
good.
chords.
No.
Yeah, I like that nuance to it, where this could come from, you know, World War I, World War II, Vietnam. It could be any kind of warfare. Yeah, very cool.
Richard Brazell has subscribed. There we go. Thank you, Janet, because you're one of the people I tag when I put new music out. Absolutely, God bless our military. One of the things I was proudest of doing in my life. You know, I have kids, but I'm more proud of serving in the military.
I'm not proud of my service at all. You know.
Wait, you're an MP.
I'm just
That's
saying,
right,
look
you're-
around me. It's all over my wall behind my bar, guys.
Military prick.
Military prick.
Stop it. Hey, somebody's got to bust up your damn bar fights, or you be killing people with beer mugs all the time, dude. Come on.
I've been working in bars years.
I went out on a date, and we went to the E Club at Fort Sam Houston. This girl was just not my cup of tea. She was not my cup of tea. And I want to tell this right now before we go live.
I was too, Janet.
So she got up, and I was already hammered, you know, and she got up and walked away. Now, everybody in that room, in that E Club, were medics. Okay. Every single guy in there and gal were medics. She got up and says, I need to go to the bathroom, save my seat. And I could give a shit at this point. And I'm like, okay. So she leaves, and a few seconds later, I grab the chair and I push it all the way on its back on the ground. And I said, can you hear me? Can you hear me? And Annie, can you hear me? And this is not a reference to the song. This is what you're trained to say to the dummy. The dummy is Resuscita Annie. And so you say, Annie, can you hear me? And then I went down and I began checking for a pulse and respiration on this chair. And I yell, I sat up and I pointed at somebody else. I said, no pulse, no respiration, beginning emergency, CPR. And then like I started thumping the chair. Going down and then another medic jumps in, says, can I help you? I said, yes, we're going to do 2-man CPR. You take over resuscitated breathing. So I would do the thumps and then he would breathe. Do the thumps, he would breathe. Then another medic came up and says, can I help? I said, yes, check the limbs to see if there are any injuries. By the time that bitch came out of the bathroom, we had taken swizzle sticks, straws, napkins, and put tourniquets and fucking bandages all over this fucking chair. And there are like 7 of us standing over this chair. When she came out, she goes, what the fuck are you doing? And I said, we're saving your chair. And she got
Don't
pissed.
save your chair. Damn
She
it.
thought the whole joke was at her expense, which it really was. But she got pissed and left. That was the end of that date.
Bummer.
Military men, it depends on the experience. Some can be good, some can be bad. Muscular patriarch, what's that? Air Force brat. Yeah, my God, Air Force. I don't want to get into that. As much fun.
Hey, I was one too. That's why I live right next to Barksdale Air Force Base, bro.
I was
But in my
medical
defense,
unit.
my father was in the Army first, and then he switched. So, yeah.
Well, I was in a medical unit, the 306 Med Ambulance, and we were attached to the oh my god, it's brain fart.
Okay, you'll get there.
921st MASH, back when they still had MASH before it got turned into cash units. And we called them the 920 Worst. It's our nickname for them. And we were on a strip mall on McClellan Air Force Base. So we had our chows when we were at the post. We'd have our chows at the Air Force Chow Hall, which was amazing. Steak. They have steak.
Yep. Some of the best food in the military you'll eat on Air Force bases, no doubt. Yep.
Jungle survival instructor. I'm assuming he's probably been downrange. So, and that's the one that impacts people once they start getting the PTSDs, man. So we're going to get to it. So here we go. Add it back up there. And the opening song, just like on the TV series, is played, except for with the lyrics. And the lyrics, we can't say the name. It's S aside is painless.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a joke within the film because Painless is the nickname they gave the dentist, played by John Shuck. And
Right.
John Shuck's character believes that he has turned gay because he can't get it up anymore. He's having trouble getting it up. So he's
And he
like,
wants
that's
to
it.
self-delete.
I'm
yes.
gay, and he wants to
Mhm.
self-delete.
Yeah.
And so they have this amazingly funny Last Supper. They made it to look just like the Last Supper.
Yeah.
And then they give him the black pill to take,
Right.
and he goes over into the coffin, lays down in the coffin, and takes the pill, which basically it's a fucking knockout drug.
It's so
And,
bizarre how he's lying there in the coffin and everybody gives him something.
Yeah,
A bottle of whiskey, shit like that. It's bizarre.
it's a great scene in the film.
It is.
So, but the film starts with that song, and the song references his character, and you don't hear the song again in the film until the scene as we move into the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know,
But
he
everybody
believes they're
knows
gonna-
that song because it was the lead into the TV show every episode. That was the theme song for the television
And
show.
introducing Gary Berghoff. Gary Berghoff is the only actor from the film that lasted and went into the TV series.
Right. Yep.
Bud Cort's in this film, and I love Bud Cort. He was in one of the Psycho. He was in the Psycho TV series back
Really?
in the 80s. Not very good. It was a made-for-TV movie. It was not very good. The only military person I ever got into an argument with was a retired Army Brigadier General who tried to pull his rank on me. Excuse me, does this look like a fucking uniform? Yeah, there you go. Anima learned something from this film is that medical personnel aren't really answerable to regular army. And I had a full bird colonel learn quickly that I pulled rank on him.
Yeah, that surprised me.
Because I told him, because he tried to tell me what to do. And I said, you can't tell me to do anything. I said, the only person that can tell me what to do is the closest, highest ranking medical officer.
Yeah.
I can tell you what to do.
Yep.
Because I'm in command of this medical thing here right now.
Yeah.
Because we were doing site support for an air show, military air show.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you don't tell me what to do. Try to tell me to go climb up a tree. I'm not, or not a tree, a pole.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm not climbing up. Why would you? No. He got so angry, and he went off to go find out. He's going to go far. Never saw him again.
Mm-hmm.
Never heard about it again.
Yeah, that's something that people sometimes misunderstand. Whenever there's a medical emergency, the medical personnel outrank everybody on the scene. It's just like a law enforcement situation. My Brazard outranks
it's crime,
generals.
military crime.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Provosts and all the military police are in command.
I
By the way,
outrank
this is a
everybody at the
great.
scene. Yep.
They show the letter that General MacArthur wrote, and MacArthur got screwed so badly. He should have been in command of this, but Eisenhower was kind of a tool. He didn't like Patton. He didn't like MacArthur, either of them, because they were fucking hard nosed. And oddly, they didn't like each other. Patton and MacArthur, not fans of each other's work, even though they did serve together at one point. This here colonel needs an Anima stat. Yeah, see, Harold and Maude, Scribe, by the way, hi, Scribe. It kind of hurt his career, Bud Cort's career, and he felt it did. And it changed the dynamic of what he was trying to do for work. And he always got typecast as playing that kind of character he played, Harold, from the film Harold and Maude. And I love that movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Cat Stevens soundtrack. What a good film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he even commented on how it hurt his career. But this is a real letter that MacArthur wrote about leaving Korea. And he left it into Dwight Eisenhower's hands. Very unhappy. I will go to Korea, Dwight D. Eisenhower. Like the way it ended there. And I think they do. And by the way, there is footage from the film that makes it into the show. Some of the stuff in the credits, and occasionally you'll get a shot in the first few seasons of the show that was actually from the film, overhead shots.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you're a captain doesn't mean you run the joint. And he wears a really weird boonie cap. I know they existed, but man, they look really weird.
Yeah. Looks like a fishing hat. He's wearing.
Now, this is another one. This is Tom Skerritt.
Yes.
Tom Skerritt was...
He was a kid when he was in this movie, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Tom was young. He plays Duke, who's a good old boy.
I always wondered why they didn't have Duke in the TV show. I thought he would have been a great third guy in there.
Well, that was the problem. They didn't want a third wheel.
Yeah.
They wanted just to focus on the two main characters and dealing with Hot Lips and Frank Burns.
Right. Don't you think he would have been a great addition to the TV show, though? I mean, his character's funny as hell.
When you look at it, though, in the long run, I think they made the right decision by doing that. And I think the mistake of the series was diminishing Trapper John's character and making it about Hawkeye. Huge mistake.
Yeah.
But this was shot, by the way, in the same location as the TV series. California Hills.
Which was where? Where did they shoot?
California Hills.
Okay.
It's just a stone's throw from where they shot part of Planet of the Apes. And so now they're both macking on the same chick. They're like eyeballing her. And by the way, in the military, when you say eyeballing, it means eye fucking.
Mm-hmm.
You're fucking somebody with your eyes.
Yeah.
That's why when a drill sergeant says, "Are you eyeballing me?" They do that in movies. In real life, they go, "You eye fucking me? I'll pop your eyeballs out and skull fuck you."
Right.
Yeah, I brought that up, Slasher. I brought that up. Yep. And God, tell me he doesn't look like Peter Sellers.
I'm telling you, man, the glasses and the whole
that was
9 yards.
Totally intentional. Totally intentional. I brought, oh my God. I brought that up a little bit ago, Slasher Fred, that they got Pernell Roberts to play Trapper John, and they did not ask Wayne Rogers back. And I think that was insult to injury, doing that.
Yeah.
The show was a hit, but I didn't like it because one of the first episodes depicts a Vietnam veteran as broken and dysfunctional. Typical Hollywood claptrap about veterans.
Mm-hmm.
We care about veterans, but we're going to make them look bad. Make them look like they can't handle stuff.
When they can handle things better than anybody.
Yep.
Bye, Stephen.
Bye, Stephen. Take care, buddy.
But yeah, man, that guy that plays the Colonel is just he's really good. It's a different kind of character than because the guy in the TV show he's trying to be everybody's friend, and that's not what this guy is. He's a commanding officer, you can tell, but he's kind of on the idiot savant side. He's not slow. It's just he calculates everything that's going on. So he
There's
sounds kind
John
of
Shuck.
Yeah.
John Shuck wears the white dental scrub.
Yep.
It's got that flap.
Painless, right? Yeah.
Like Han Solo. Yep. Painless is his nickname.
Mm-hmm.
That's Father Mulcahy. If you recognize him, that's Aubergenois, the guy who played Odo in Star Trek.
My favorite movie with him in it is The Patriot. He plays the Reverend that goes out with him. Yeah.
He also was biologically designed to play Ichabod Crane.
That's perfect. That's perfect casting right there.
I
got to tell you, I think he did once. Let me.
My favorite movie
Might
with
have.
Aubergenois would have to be King Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My favorite with him was actually the TV show Benson, which was a spinoff of Soap.
Right. Wasn't he the governor's right-hand man or something like that? Yeah.
He was his aide to the governor.
That's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
He's
it
great,
seems to me,
I love him.
I know Jeff Goldblum did too, played Ichabod, but it seems to me Aubergenois also played. Boy, I wish he had Hollywooded up to his name. You know what that means? Changing your name to something that's more Anglo.
Church it up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Don't church it up, son. It's dirt. That's what I always think of. Joe Dirte.
Joe
Don't church it
Dirte.
up, son.
You don't church it up, which is one of what's his name's brothers that died.
Mm-hmm.
Fat comic from the 90s. He's got both his brothers are in that.
Yep.
Chris Farley?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Don't church it up, son. It's dirt.
Yeah, both his brothers are in that film, Joe Dirt, which I love that film. We need to cover it sometime.
You do. That is a classic, man.
I swear to God, I thought he played Ichabod at some point. Maybe it's just something that I hoped for. Because I'm going through
I
his
know
career.
in The Patriot, he looks like him as that Reverend. He really does.
Yes, he does. But I could have sworn I saw him play him when he was younger, but it could have been my imagination.
Yeah.
I'm not finding it.
Yeah, one of my favorite lines in that movie is when he's getting on the horse to go out with him, and the guy asks him, "Reverend, where are you going?" He says, the shepherd has to tend the flock and sometimes fight off the wolves. I love that fucking line. It's freaking awesome. Yeah.
Oh, he was in Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court back in '89.
There you go. Yeah. He wasn't young when he was in this movie, man. Yeah, he'd been around a while.
Oh, he's been around since the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
He was on stage in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, when we lost him, I'm like, man, that dude was getting old. He had been around for a while. Yeah, I cannot find it anywhere. I know that Jeff Goldblum played him in the 90s for the Disney live action film.
Well, some of the themes from the TV show were definitely pulled from this, like using the natives to the native Koreans to get things for them.
Well, that was like actually in the book too. They really did use them.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody's calling on the main line. I don't know if you could hear that.
Nope.
King Kong, 1976. Oh my God, that's right. He was in the Hindenburg with George C. Scott. I love that movie.
Yeah, God, that's a deep cut. That's old. The Hindenburg. Look at Robert Duvall praying and reading the Bible, and the whole time he's banging. I was
Well,
about
he's
to
not
say
Brian
Loretta
banging her
Swit,
yet.
but it's not
He's
Loretta
not yet.
Swit. What's the actress's name that plays Hot Lips?
Sally Kellerman.
That's it. Yeah.
Who was an actual hot woman.
Yes.
I agree with. I think Anima, you said that she was not very pretty. The actress from MASH, Loretta Swit.
No.
Yeah, here he is. He was all the way working back in. He was in the movie Petulia, 68, and Lilith in 64.
Mm-hmm.
And then his first major credited role was MASH, because he actually played a character, Father Mulcahy. And Father Mulcahy, just like in the series, kind of turned a blind eye to some of the shit that goes on. Just goes, well, I'm walking away now. I don't want no part of this.
Every time I see Tom Skerritt grinning, I just, that's the missing piece to me in the TV show, but I understand why they just kept it to the two main characters, but I just love him in this movie, man. He's great. he is the shit-stirring laugh a minute guy, man. He enjoys a good time, no doubt. Just like all Southern good old boys do, you know.
Well, that's sort of all the books are about, really, is the fucking good times and the shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, I'm gonna look it up this way. Just look up Ichabod. So I could have sworn he played him, but it might be just absolute. Nope, he did. 1979, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, part of the CBS library. He played Ichabod Crane, so I did remember it.
There you go.
And I would have been 15. Yay, me.
Yay!
I'm
Gary's
so smart.
not crazy. He did actually see
Not
it.
insane. It really did happen.
Oh, this is and this is a common thread through both the film and the show too. How
The
serious
big difference is they didn't show the gore on the
Yeah.
TV series.
No,
They
they
shot
didn't.
from here up, so
Yeah.
you didn't see the going in and the blood.
You saw some of the blood, but not much.
Yeah, it was
but-
very little. They
Mhm.
due to the network censorship, they had to keep it limited because it was a primetime show.
Yep.
Primetime meant that there was potential family members, which could include children. And they kept the sign in it too, with all the boards pointing in different directions. That's in the
Yes.
TV show too.
Yes.
I really like that signpost.
Oh, it's kick
I also love this. I'm married. I'm married too. I would totally be with my wife right now if I could. Me too, with my husband.
Hypocrites.
And this poor Korean kid. And this is a plot you would see echoed later on the TV series, because this kid is getting ready to be drafted into the South Korean army. Now, why I dislike that is because they don't really show the selfishness of the doctors, that they don't want to lose their Korean slaves. Is really
their
what they're-
house guy. Yeah, their house
houseboy.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
they're ready to do this thing, which is really unethical,
Mhm.
to try to get him out. So they give him a medication that causes his heart to race. And the scene
They
later is
immediately
great when
call it.
they go to Seoul, and the Korean doctor goes, his heart racing, and he's like, oh well, that's Donald Sutherland's like, oh, that's too bad, we'll go ahead and take him back. He goes, but I suspect that maybe he took something. He works in a medical hospital, so there's a really good chance he accidentally took something, or somebody accidentally gave him something that caused his heart to race. And if he gets some sleep and wakes up tomorrow, so I'm going to keep him here, I'm sure his heart will be back to normal tomorrow. He's getting drafted.
Yep.
That Korean doctor's like, fuck you. And
Fuck
they
you.
kind of make the Korean doctor look like the bad guy. No, he's a good guy. Because this is the Koreans' war that we were waging, and
Yes.
supporting.
Mhm.
And we
Wait,
signed
it's not
these.
a war. It's a police action, Gary. It's a police.
That's right. It is a police action. And this is Trapper John, played by Elliot Gould. I love his fucking mustache, man.
Dude. Iconic.
I kind of wish Wayne Rogers had grown that, but
Right?
no, they completely changed it in the TV show. He's clean shaven. In this, he is rough, man. And there's a scene when he faces off. What is that guy's name? He's in Conan, the Barbarian. Oh my God, what is his fucking name? Big football player.
All I know is Trapper John gives 0 Fs.
Ben Davidson.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Huge fucking football player. The guy was a giant, towered over Arnold Schwarzenegger in Conan. He was the big villain that he ends up having the final fight with, and his ghost love appears and blinds him with her sword momentarily, and turns and delivers that Dan Daly line, "Do you want to live forever?"
Right.
So that's Ben Davidson, big motherfucker. He's in this movie too.
Yeah.
They have a lot of pro football players in this film.
Yeah.
Including Spear Tucker Jones.
Right. When they get
Timothy
to the football
Brown.
part, yes, absolutely.
I think Jim Brown's even in this. I think he has an appearance in it. Fran Tarkenton's in it. God, because this is a crazy fucking movie. It's a war parody, and then it's like a summer camp movie with the two
summer camp movie, and then all of a sudden it turns into a
fucking football comedy.
Right. Well, football comedy / heist movie, because they're doing all this.
Oh, the heist! Yes, I forgot about the heist. There's so many levels to this movie that even though they strayed away from the book, fuck, man, he did an amazing job with this film.
Yeah, he did.
And yes, it is more about Vietnam than anything, but I don't care. I love this movie. I love this movie. John Schuck is one of my favorite characters in the film. John Schuck was one of my favorite actors growing up because he was always played comical roles. Like he played an android in a cop show where he was the first android to become a cop. I forget the name of that show, but that movie or that TV show cracked me up. You were going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to bring up the wrong Android Cop show. Yeah, my mind first went to the one with had a pilot. I think it was with Carl Urban. A pilot, no, a run of only one season. Almost Human, I think it was called. But no, I remember the one that you're talking about in the 70s, 80s.
Yeah, I'm going back to it right now because it was right around 80. So.
Holmes and Yo-Yo, says Bud Martin. Oh, and welcome again, D-Bud. Good to see you, my man.
Oh, who? I'm sorry, I missed it.
D-Bud.
Hey, hey, D-Bud. What's up, man? Hardest working wrench in the fucking colony.
Yeah, I think there's not just one of him. He cloned himself.
Holmes and Yo-Yo. They got 13 fucking episodes. That's all they got. We're getting canceled.
Okay.
He's an android. Oh my God. And later on, he was on Fantasy Island. I love that. He did 2 episodes of that. I would watch for anything. He was also in The New Odd Couple, if anybody remembers that, 1982, and they race swapped it. But it was a perfect cast.
I do remember that show. It didn't last.
It was Ron Glass and the guy who played Sanford's son. Fuck. I could just look, but I'm not going to because I want to remember his name. Demond Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
And Schuck played Murray. He was in several episodes of St. Elsewhere. He was on that TV show Misfits of Science.
Misfits of Science, my God. Wow. Deep cuts coming out of Gerry today. Ooh.
But a lot of people don't know that he plays the main Klingon ambassador in Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, who condemns Kirk and the Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
That's John Schuck.
Really good actor, man.
And I'll tell you, that's probably going to be the role that most people remember him for.
Yeah, it is. Because people are still going to be watching those Star Trek movies 2 decades from now.
That's Bud Cort there with the glasses. And I believe the reason why they didn't carry this character over is because he looks too much like Raider O'Reilly.
He does. Yes, he does.
He's a redundant character. And just Robert Duvall. And this is where Duvall calls him an idiot and berates him in front of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
He says, because of you, he's dead. You know, and so you'll see Trapper John walk in and goes, I think it's Trapper John. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it's Trapper John goes in and says, hey, I want to have a word with you. And he fucking knocks him out.
Yeah.
It's a great fucking moment on in the film.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Trapper's the tough guy, no doubt.
Yeah, Sally Kellerman was gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, who didn't see her in the movie Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield and go, no fucking way.
Right?
I didn't. Never saw the movie.
We will, because it's on the list of films I want to do.
that.
I love that movie.
As far as I'm concerned, there's
the
only
Triple
two Rodney
Lindy.
Dangerfield movies. It's Caddyshack and that one. There's only
Who is
two.
ever going to forget the Triple Lindy?
I'm telling you, man. Too much. Oh. What's funny is, you know, you go back and watch it now, Robert Downey Jr., I don't think he had been sent to jail yet, but he was on the cusp of it. You could tell he was kind of twitchy in that movie.
Now, I paused this because I wanted to point out something that the movie with Rodney Dangerfield is just a classic film. But Sally Kellerman plays an English professor who in no fucking way, shape, or form would ever go with somebody like Rodney Dangerfield.
No.
But I still love that movie. It's such a good film. But anyway, so Duvall, Trapper walks in, wants to make sure he's finished for the day. And he's like, yes, why?
And then crack.
Knocks the shit out of him, hurts his fist doing it.
Yep. And here she comes.
We started this. Oh, that was the thing is Army is wax. Navy is waves, the female personnel. And I don't remember, did they have a special name with the Air Force?
As far as I know.
Because I know Air Force started out with the Army.
Yeah, it was the Army Air Corps. Actually, you can't see him as off camera, but Foxy's grandfather was in the Army Air Corps. Yeah.
I remember this old joke from when I was a kid. It was a dirty joke in from World War II. It says, yeah, did you hear about the wave that sucked the semen under the docks? We're all like giggling at that stupid joke.
You know it. Stupid.
Let us settle this between ourselves alone. Henry, are you kidding? Deeply regretting this unfortunate incident. I should certainly hope so. God, I love Henry Blake, and it's such a simp.
Yeah, he is.
He doesn't want to do anything. He wants to sleep with his girlfriend and
that's
drink
it.
And go
no
fishing.
Confrontation. No, he doesn't want to see any confrontations at all. Just get along, people.
He's just a terrible commander.
Yeah, he is.
Which is probably why he's a commander. They just promoted him to get him out of the way.
Right.
I love this line right here. I never expected the son of a bitch to get up.
Oh, God. It's crazy.
Elliot Gould and Donald Sutherland, they got together again. They did, I think, a couple more films. One of them was Spies, which was actually a fun film. I enjoyed that one. But I think they were in another film called Gas later. They were friends in real life because of this movie. They became very good chummy friends. And they had great chemistry on camera. Yep. Peter Sellers, swear to God, look at me, doesn't look like Peter Sellers.
He does. He looks exactly
absolutely like they were going for Dr. Strangelove.
In the river, I love it. Yes, yes. You always wonder why the guy on the TV show had a fishing hat on. That's it comes straight from this movie.
And they show him making his own lures.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because Anima stopped the film going, what is he doing? And I said, those are lures.
Because I've never seen this.
Oh, yeah. Guys,
we're fly fishing.
Fishermen make their own lures. Yeah. Mm-hmm. My favorite
I've
Elliot
never
Gould
seen
movie,
fly
though,
fishing stuff, so I had to
Yeah.
ask.
my favorite Elliot Gould movie though is Capricorn 1. Always has been. Love that.
Oh, I
fucking-
love that movie too.
Yep.
Great film.
Yep.
Well, he was in the first remake of Ocean 11,
Was he?
and
Yes, he was. He plays the old guy.
Huh. Wow.
I think he's in that one and the second one.
I haven't seen the second one.
I
I
think he's
haven't
in both
mustered
of
the
them.
courage.
The second one was pretty good. I actually really enjoyed it.
Hmm.
Yes. Wait, what?
Really?
I wouldn't know.
I got to
I don't
tell
know
you,
about all
that
that.
show wouldn't have happened if not for the TV show.
Yeah, they would have.
So if somebody said that, they're full of shit.
Yeah. It was made by the same network. I'm pretty sure it was. Wasn't CBS the
CBS,
home of
wasn't it?
both of those shows? Yeah. They
I'm
did
gonna
a good
go
job
look.
with.
Yeah, CBS, same network, and it was adapted from the movie. Yeah, made from the movie, created by Richard Hooker. So, yeah, but they would have never gotten it if not for the TV show.
Yeah, for sure.
Donald Sutherland, man, he gets that look. I love that look when he gives it. And he's like trying to kind of hit on her, but then he realizes, you're fucking talking down to me. And that was the moment right there where the look changed.
Yep. Put his glasses
That
back
was-
on.
Yeah, you can fuck off. No, I'm going to tell you something. I ran into a few of those people in the military like that who were not efficient. They were officious people that cared more about rank than they
Right.
cared about doing their fucking jobs.
Career
Correct.
advancement is all they're driven by. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
God, she's gorgeous.
Yeah, she is. Absolutely.
Remember her in Star Trek.
Yes. She was in the second pilot
Yep.
with Shatner. And we're all rooting for Shatner to bang her.
Right.
But oh no, Gerry gets her. And oddly, Gerry plays Gerry in it. Gerry Lockwood. That's sort of like that luck of the draw thing that Jack Nicholson always ran into, playing a character named Jack or Jake.
Yep.
Not always, but there were a lot of them. He needs a queen to sit upon his lappos. The fucking dialogue in it is ridiculous. And I love that moment when Frank Burns makes the first verbal move. And that kind of surprised me because he's such a religious zealot.
Yeah, he is, man. But like many religious zealots, a total hypocrite, right?
Oh, totally, he's a hypocrite. But I dislike the fact that they kind of poke fun at people who are deeply religious
Yeah.
in this film. Because that was the stand of Hollywood at that point, is to mock patriots and the religious. And so they team up here and they're going to fucking bring these people down and take over this camp, you know. Going to send this to the general and fuck, man. They carried a lot of this over into the TV series, but it kind of faded away with time because she ends up rejecting Frank Burns. And Frank Burns ends up being kind of lonely. And then eventually, just like in the film, loses his mind, gets sent to the loony bin.
Yep. That was the progression in the TV show for sure.
You said that like in Step Brothers. Yep.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Are we best? Do we just become best friends? Yep.
Yep.
That's another movie
Here
that I had
it
to
is.
keep up on.
Here it is, right here. Just he's tearing her clothes off and just completely going against his own moral grounds.
This is when they put it on the PA, right? Yeah.
Well, oddly, Radar O'Reilly hears them and takes his microphone over and clicks and locks open the mic when he hears them and puts the mic right underneath them. And it's only playing in the radio. And I think it's Trapper John's like, this needs to be shared with everyone.
Right, this needs to be shared with everyone. Click!
And puts it on the PA. And then she hears herself. She's, how come I can hear myself? It's so fucking funny.
Oh,
Yeah,
the moment they
I like
realize
that.
what's being done, it's so funny. They
To
panic.
me, that was the apex prank. What they do to her is wrong. And I frown on it. I can't believe the nurses. I don't care that they dislike her. You just don't do that to a human being.
Yeah, that was.
Because they said, you think she's a natural blonde? Well, we need to find out.
Yeah.
And that's funny. And they should have left it at that. But then they show them pull the fucking side of the tent down, which was more than what Sally Kellerman was told they were going to do. And her reaction is legitimate. She freaked when they pulled that entire wall down. And she went totally nude. I'm hoping that it's so tiny that nobody notices it if it didn't get censored on the, by Martin.
Oh, let's say that we will see an old friend of the channel.
Oh, Monkey's back. Yay. Monkey Jeebus will be here.
I thought he was talking about Mads.
Yeah, Sally Kellerman in her fake English accent. Yep.
You know what though? She's a really good actress.
Oh, wait a minute. Now this makes sense. In order to avoid hiring or having to ask Wayne Rogers. This was a CBS move.
That makes sense.
That's what that was. That's why they said it's a spinoff of the film.
What if?
Just got a message from Anima Confucius. She may be late to the show.
What? I sent that to you over an hour ago.
Yeah, but I had read it, but it didn't show read. So I went to like, why does it show a new message? And I clicked on it. It's from
Messages fucked up like that sometimes.
Tom Skerritt has shown up in some of the greatest movies ever made.
Now, Tom Skerritt, by the way, served during the 50s, late 50s.
Yeah.
He started serving during the Cold War.
Yep. He's been in
No matter what, it's always good to see you, D-Bud. Always good to see you.
Frank, the original Top Gun is definitely a military movie because...
I mean, it is a military movie, but...
It's more of a music video, really. It's great, don't get me wrong, but yeah.
We need to check this out. Q2 Cast TV says, but there were photos of MASH TV series on Trapper's wall in the opening of the show. So I am going to go check that out. That's interesting.
Well, let's see.
Are you saying in the opening music, like during that scene, QT or Q2? Sorry.
Let's see.
And welcome, Q2.
Yeah, welcome.
Willkommen. Wie geht's?
What?
Please don't do that.
I can't help it. I know it annoys you.
You need to get that looked at.
Oh, he says in what they say in the first episode.
So it's at the opening of the show. I've got it right here.
No, it's not in the opening. It's in the episode.
I was
during the
to
episode.
say I'm watching the opening and I don't see anything like that.
Oh, look at this! We have a connection to the show. To the show, the movie, the book. Shirley Levasseur, she says the author was my grandmother's doctor back in the 70s.
Huh.
Oh, that's my friend Shirley. Hey, Shirley.
Hey, Shirley.
I have been friends with Shirley for 24 years. 24.
Oh, poor Shirley.
Yeah.
Oh, she's wonderful. You can say that all you want. We're friends.
Okay, the pictures appear in the first minutes of the premiere.
Oh, and they've got aerial photography from the show, from MASH, when he's asleep, and he hears the helicopter outside. Yep, it's got Alan Alda and Wayne Rogers.
Wait, I had to pause it here. That was my first laugh out loud when I saw him on the straight jacket.
Yeah, it's black and white pictures on the wall. They're panning across it. Yep.
I'm present, share screen. Here you go.
I'm looking at it
There
right
we
now
go.
too. Yep.
That's
there it
Wayne
is.
Rogers and Alan Alda.
Yep. Mythbusters live on Military Monday.
So if they claim that, it was in order not to offer the show to Wayne Rogers, which I think they should have, because I love Wayne Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
Sad damn day we lost him. Good damn actor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get a better HD copy of that and watch that again, the pilot. Now, a lot of people don't know what Triage is. If you guys want to know, I can tell you real quick. It's one of the rough things you were trained to do as a combat medic. And
you're basically
decide,
prioritizing the victims,
you
right?
prioritize who's going to get treated, who has a better chance of survival.
Yep.
And who needs help right now that has the greatest chance of recovery.
Right.
I would say that is the hardest thing to learn and to do. You're deciding life and death, basically.
Well, it's like when you assess a scene as a paramedic, you go to the scene and you decide who the EMTs are going to work on and who the paramedics are going to work on. And you tell the EMTs, do what you can there. We got this guy. And that's the one you're going to put most of your focus on for injury and potential of survival. Greater injury with the greatest potential of survival. It's a rough thing to do. And I tell people, there are a lot of things that give me my PTSD. None of it was from the military. Most of it was from paramedical stuff and the kidnapping. That's it. It's exactly what it is, labeling people based on their injuries. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. I mean, there's even a color code for that.
Yep, you tag them.
Yep.
It is one of the most emotional episodes of MASH, and it wouldn't have happened if Wayne Rogers hadn't pissed off the showrunner by doing what he did. They wouldn't have killed him.
And what did he do?
Fucking quit. So he could go do another show, make more money.
Mm-hmm.
And even Radar O'Reilly left the show eventually. Gerry said that he felt he had played the character as far as he could play him.
Right. That a lot of people forget that.
But they
Jamie
gave him a
Farr-
nice send-off because he was nice how he left. He didn't just
Yeah.
arbitrarily quit.
Jamie Farr ended up being the clerk down the stretch.
Okay, here comes the Painless story.
Yeah.
Painless is like trying to tell him, I was with it, nothing happened. I couldn't get it up. I'm gay. I'm apparently I've turned gay. And like, he's not taking it. Nobody's taking it seriously.
Now you
When he
wanna talk
walks
about
into the
something-
tent for his funeral, when he walks into the tent, and everybody's still fucking laughing. They're still.
You want to talk
chirping.
about something that would get this movie canceled right away? It's this right here. The fact that he thinks he's turned gay, right?
Yeah.
It would get a canceled.
And that he wants
so
to
quick.
end himself over it.
Right, and he wants to kill himself.
That
over it,
wouldn't
yes.
fly today. No
Yes.
fucking way. No.
No
That
way
would
in
upset
hell.
the alphabet people.
They'd freak out.
You don't choose. You're born that way. Sure.
Well,
It's like,
his argument
I
is that
stumped a gay friend of mine once when he said that it wasn't a choice, and I said, "So, the first time you put your penis into another man, there was no choice that was made in doing that. You had no choice." And he goes, "Well, that's not fair." And I went, "This isn't about fair. It's about facts. There comes a point
Sure,
acting on something is a choice. The minute you act on something, it's become a choice, whether you
Yes.
like it or not." But I absolutely do support that. I think many are born that way.
But yeah,
My son was around me all the time, man. And I was always doing athletic stuff, pushing baseball, sports, hunting. And my son would go, "No, it's okay. I don't want to." And I'm like, "Jesus, come on, go out here with us." His uncle would go with me. And because his uncle was a kid, and I'd take his uncle to go play ball. And I was really disappointed my kid didn't want to do that. And I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with my kid?" It's right when he's about 7. I'm like, oh, he was already that way.
yeah. I was a bartender for 18 years. I ran into several homosexual people that are friends to mine to this day, and there's no doubt in my mind that some people are born that way.
Absolutely.
But-
1968, the Hays Code was replaced by the MPAA. That's true. Good trivia there, Q2.
that almost sounds like an asteroid name.
Right?
Q2 Cast TV. I feel like I should know this, and I don't. Oh my God, Shuck was in the movie Second Sight. I don't know if anybody even remembers that thing.
No,
Sounds
not
familiar.
by name.
Sounds familiar.
It is a comedy film with Bronson Pinchot and John Larroquette
Oh my God, yeah. Okay.
about somebody with supposed telekinesis. It's a comedy. I didn't know that there was. Oh wow! Really?
There it is. The Last
There's the
Supper.
Last Supper.
There's the
Last
Last
Supper. And they're
Too
even
fucking cool.
posed for a few seconds. They are posed in the exact same poses as in the
Exactly.
painting,
Look at Gould in his ear.
and his
So
finger
great.
up.
Yep. That is so awesome, man.
Does anybody remember the show? I was in the Army when it came out. The Young Riders, a ripoff of Young Guns. It had Josh Brolin and Stephen Baldwin.
Nah.
It's the story of young Buffalo Bill Cody and Hickok.
Wild Bill Hickok.
Hickok is a hiccup of the penis.
Oh my God.
Painless.
You know what, Martin? Shit like that
What?
doesn't even make me flinch anymore. I think I'm dead inside.
That may be Sutherland's best scene right there when he starts the eulogy for Painless there, you know?
Yep. Now he takes the pill and he lies down, and they start bringing things over to him. It's funny. Second Sight was the rival film to Jeff Goldblum and Cyndi Lauper's movie about psychics, which I remember that film really well. I actually liked that one more.
What was its name?
I don't recall right offhand. One of the funniest military movies is the Abbott and Costello movie, Buck Price. I love that movie. Yeah, that's a good film. That's what they do. It's sort of the same premise as Some Like It Hot, where they're trying to get away from the mob and end up joining. It's the same premise also in the Foreign Legion, where they're trying to get away from a bunch of Arabs set on killing them, and they end up joining the French Foreign Legion. Yeah, there are 3 subject matters in this film that the Hays Code would not have allowed.
No.
And one deals with sex, the other one deals with religion, and the other one deals with self-deleting.
Yep.
Vibes. That's the movie. Yep. Vibes.
Vibes.
Thanks, Monkey. And I think it was the better of the 2 films. I really do.
My favorite telekinesis movie is a horror movie with Kirk Douglas called The Fury.
I like that movie, but the director is kind of a dickhead.
Oh, De Palma? Yeah. Didn't De Palma direct that one?
I couldn't understand either of you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're talking at the same time.
Go ahead,
Martin.
Joe.
No, Martin, I wanted to hear what you said.
Patrick, did you see that one?
Okay, yeah, that's another film like that. Now, Joe, what were you saying?
Did De Palma direct that one? I think he did.
No, that was, I do believe that was Sidney J. Furie.
Okay.
What an awesome last name, Fury.
Right.
Let me double check.
And imagine having that last name and being a
No, you were right,
pussy.
Brian De Palma, and I hate
thought
Brian
he did.
De Palma.
Yeah. There's
Brian
some
De Palma's
definite
a
Brian De
commie.
Palma camera work in that movie. You know, the zoomed in backgrounds and things like that. Yeah.
John Cassavetes.
Oh, dude, the guy's awesome in that movie.
He's awesome in everything he's in.
Yes, he is. But
Painless needs the therapeutic value.
I'm a huge fan of the Douglases, man, and that movie's one of my favorites. You never hear anybody mention that one, man. Love it.
All right, so this is important to point out that Hawkeye's girlfriend thinks she's about to make out with Hawkeye, and Hawkeye's no, it's like, no, you need to do something.
I need a favor.
Medical. This is a medical necessity. You're going to save a man's life. And so she goes in there, and that's what this buildup is for. That she thinks they're going to make out, and it's like, nope. And she's like, what's going on? Why is it? What's going on here? And then she lifts the blanket up and sees that John Chuck's character is very well hung. Which is why her final scene when she leaves, because she's leaving in the morning, she is the one character who breaks the 4th wall in the movie.
Yeah.
She turns and looks right into the camera and smiles really big as the camera's lifting off. Fucking great moment.
Yeah.
Well, her character is high on sexy hormones.
Yeah, because she's just like got a blank stare going out there gets into the vehicle.
She's had the night of her
Someone's
life.
talking to her. It's like she has had the biggest O of her life.
Yep.
And you can
He
tell.
too, probably. He is silly smiling.
Yeah,
too.
because the next day he's ready to eat. He's happy. He's in a great mood.
Total change in his demeanor.
Gets his appetite back for food.
So great, man.
There she sees it. And it's like, oh my. Because I think there's even a joke about there, isn't the size of the dick at some point?
It's definitely alluded to in the film. not
Yeah,
directly.
have a good trip. She's just not even looking at him. Supposed to pick these are your traveling orders. Doesn't respond, react.
Yeah. He's talking to
Yeah,
him
hey,
through the net.
look at that. Hi, Hawkeye. Got 2 jobs to rebuild. Come on, Sideman.
It's all about
Yeah,
work now.
Nothing has happened.
Look at Hawkeye's face. Look at Hawkeye. Totally self-satisfied.
Right?
I did this. I did this.
I saved a man's life. That's right.
Oh, here we
And
come.
there it is. She fucking smiles at the camera. And
Yeah.
she's looking at the camera right now, smiling
Yeah.
as it pulls up. I love this shot. It was a great moment in the film.
And then we get back to the hard work at hand. Yeah. Yeah, the whole point of this movie and the TV show is they party hard, they work hard, and they party hard, no doubt. In a place that they try and make it like home as much as they can. You see them all the time, you know, sitting outside in lawn chairs like they're at a picnic and stuff like that, you know. They try and make it as homey as possible. The sign, you know, the street sign pointing different directions to their home cities and stuff. They try to make it as... Look, I was at a remote place for a year, and that's exactly what it's like, man. You're far away from home, and that's what you do. You just... I mean... On Johnson Island, you either lifted weights or you drank. I mean, it was just like this. We went to work drunk. It was ridiculous, man. You know.
I have drank so long that I was still drunk when I got to work.
Right. Exactly. It's crazy, man. But when you're that far away from home and you know, missing everybody, all you got's your compadres, man. And you just hang and get through it as well as you can, you know. And most of it's through mirth, no doubt. You got to laugh about it or you cry about it, right, Gerry?
Oh, when you say mirth, I think of Jonathan, the comedian, Jonathan. Oh my God, when we were kids, Jonathan Winters.
Jonathan Winters, yeah.
Yeah,
Master of
because
Mirth?
his character's name was Mirth on Mork and Mindy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wasn't he their kid?
Yep.
Yeah. He was born fully grown? Yeah.
Like, how the fuck did that happen?
Right? Oh, man. Mork and Mindy. Ugh. Every time I think of that show, all I can think of is what he said to, if you've ever listened to the album, Reality What a Concept, his first stand-up album. Somebody says, do Mork, and he said, no.
No more Nanu. No more Nanu.
I come here and do this so I don't have to do that. Yeah, we're not doing that tonight. And the whole crowd erupts in applause, you know. But, yeah.
Because he says, no Nanu. No
Nanu. Yeah.
I memorized that whole fucking album.
Oh, dude,
man.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like the part where he does Einstein. I simply give you the equation E equals MC squared. You mashuggan us and fuck it up.
Fuck it up, yeah. Well, what's
There
cool
he goes.
is,
Oh my God.
yeah, he does
That's
look
him
like
as
him. I mean,
Ichabod.
perfect casting. Yep. Mm-hmm. That is the school teacher on the nag. Yep. But friggin', if you listen to that album and then you watch the HBO special, you tell he's got a framework for that. You know, the part where he gets the current events from the audience and does a Shakespearean play out of it. It's two different pieces, but you can tell it's the same framework. He's got a framework that he uses, but it's that guy was so talented. My God, he was so funny.
Absolutely. By the way, this is the build-up to the scene with the shower because the discussion is she's blonde. Do you think she's a real blonde? Well, we're gonna have to find out. And the setup to this is funny, but because of the way they did it,
yeah, it's disturbing to watch. It is. Yeah.
There's Duke.
I think even back then they'd have probably been brought up on charges for doing something.
Absolutely should have been.
Yeah.
Everybody that's involved with this should have gotten in trouble for this.
Yeah.
because they all put chairs right outside the showers, the women's showers. And she only showers alone. She waits till the other women finish, and then she goes in. She doesn't like interacting with them. So I get it. There's a beef, but this is not the way to handle it.
No, not at all.
Like Martin said, this is bullying.
It is bullying. Well, I said it, and he agreed with me.
Yes.
Girlfriend not giving me credit for stuff.
Shut up, Gerry.
That's revenge for what you said before the show.
I know, right?
I say mean things there. He knows I'm kidding.
You say terrible things all the time.
I do.
And you're proud of it. You're fucked up.
So we cut it? Yeah, we cut it.
Yeah.
Now she's going into
she's
Blake.
running out of there with the robot.
Blake's quarters, and Blake is
He's
in
with
bed
his girlfriend,
with his girlfriend with a bottle of champagne. and she's like that kind of yelling.
Oh my
She's
God.
losing her fucking mind.
It's hideous.
Because they just pulled in front of everybody, pulled the wall down in the shower and had her naked.
Yeah.
And it's your fault because you don't do anything to discourage them. And she's just laying into Blake. Blake at some point is like, well, go ahead and fucking resign.
Yeah, he just gives a shit.
What?
Yeah.
Resign. Can I get back to my champagne and my girlfriend? And then she realizes how boned she is.
Yeah, she's freaking out when he says that. Oh, man.
Hooliganism. I love that one.
Oh, man. But yeah, what they did to her was wrong, man.
Yeah, look, saying shit to people, they have an opportunity to say shit back to you. So calling her hot lips, I don't consider that the bullying. The bullying is when you physically do something to physically humiliate another human being.
Yeah, no, that's bad.
But without his glasses on, I almost didn't recognize him the first time I saw that.
Yeah.
It's like he needed his glasses on.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know about you, but I wear my glasses. In those
what?
Because I want to be able to see what I'm looking at.
No, my glasses are awful.
Yeah. I
wear my glasses because I like seeing. I can't see up close, so.
Oh, you're fucked.
I can. So.
Now they cut immediately from him telling her, "Well, resign then," and she just walks out. They cut immediately to Seoul, Korea.
Yes.
With the kid, they've drugged him, so his heart is racing. Bud Court. Johnny is a good actor.
Mm-hmm. Now they eventually run into another commanding officer from another unit, right? And that's when the whole football thing falls into place.
I need to check something because this is Fox. Because I am pretty sure that this is on the back lot at Fox. Yeah, Malibu Creek State Park in Calabasas, California. Same location as the TV series. I'm looking for this shot because I am positive that is part of the 20th Century Fox back lot. Yep. The back lot. And they actually have a little corner that's called Chinatown, where they probably already had dressings up. They just had to add Korean signs. My mother's dead. She's deceased. There it is, making examination of this young man. His heart is racing. And immediately he's like, oh, well, we're so sorry. We'll take him back. We'll check it out. But when I saw the paperwork that he's American Hospital, thank you for that. Who knows? So say goodbye to him now. Basically, he busted him. We know you gave him something.
He caught it immediately.
Yeah.
What's going on?
And that's why who else knows? Nobody knows. Just, you're done. He's going into the army. There you go. Look at that gourd. I always notice that giant fucking gourd sitting between them in the back of the Jeep. Did you notice it?
Yeah. So it's crazy.
So when they did the show, the hill was still already there. The landing pad already there, stayed there. They just cleaned it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Put the tents back up. And that's why they could also show you clips from helicopters coming in from the movie, because the first couple seasons, it matched up. And so they could do that, but then they eventually started shooting new footage.
Mm-hmm.
This is funny. You look terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's doing this as a distraction because he doesn't know what those orders are. And he wants to make sure he's not being given some shitty orders. So he's doing this while Hawkeye's checking the orders for him.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't
by the
that
way,
why they're doing it again? One guy giving the orders to the other guy already telling him what he's going to do?
Yeah.
Because they do it again.
By the way, Elliot Gould is one of those hairy men, honey.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They're gross. He is just covered in black hair, like Robin Williams.
He's like my brother. My brother has to shave from his clavicles up. I mean,
he had to shave twice a day. When he tried to stay clean shaven, Elliot Gould had to shave twice a day.
Yeah.
And he had to do his whole fucking neck.
Some guys are just werewolves, man. And
Yeah.
he's one of them.
So he says, you're going to Japan, and I get to take somebody with me.
Yay! I think
And the whole time they're there. What?
I think this is where they run into the guy that they end up doing the football game over, right?
Well, this is Bobby Troop. That guy right there driving that Jeep is one of my dad's favorite actors of all time. Mm-hmm. He was a Korean War veteran in real life. He Army all the way. And his character is shown all the way to the end of this movie. He's like, fucking Jeeps, fucking Army Jeeps. He's always irritated by something. And as there's a great little character, it's all he does is complain about the Jeep and the Army.
He has the last line in the movie.
Last line in the film.
And it's goddamn Army.
Yep. Bobby Troop, man. And he would go on to star on the TV series Emergency.
Yep.
He was the lead doctor at the hospital.
He's a staff sergeant.
Goddamn Army Jeep won't fucking start.
I just want to know why a staff sergeant's driving around a couple of officers. That's what I'm wondering.
He did something wrong. He did something wrong. So I'm telling you, it's usually corporal. So here you go. This is a great moment here because they got paperwork. They could have just showed her, but they're just got to continue being Hawkeye and Trapper John. Mm-hmm. And they lead to this hijinks scene I just laughed so hard at it when she's chasing him and he turns around with the umbrella and starts treating it like a sword. and going at her, and she screams and runs away.
Well, remember they were drafted civilians, so that's their way of protesting, being like that.
It is. It's exactly what it is. That's from the book. Is that they were happy with their fucking practices, and here they are forced into the military to do shit they don't want to do, for the greater cause of the country or what have you, and they're irritated by it, and so they do shit like this hijinks, and this is the kind of shit you see in the book right here. And she's like, and there he goes, he's pulling out his fucking umbrella from the.
I'll rip your body.
Stay away from me. I'll call the police. Yes.
I'm going to Captain Pearson. You stay away from me. And he chases her off. And then they go in and they start treating this patient. That's why they're there. And then this fucking colonel comes in there and he's gonna fucking do this. And he goes, "This is the senator's son," or some shit like that. You're not doing anything. Tells this nurse, "Just go do your fucking job."
Right.
Prep this kid. He's going to the OR now.
Go find the
When the colonel shows up. When the colonel shows up, they're in the OR, and he's like, "You're not going to do anything. Otherwise,
Who
you're
is
going to
this
cause."
nurse?
That's great. Give me a nurse that can help me without getting her tits in my way.
I love this when the nurse asks, "How do you want your steak cooked?" I love that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
There's a lot of fucked up dark humor in this.
Yeah.
But that's medics for
Dirty
you,
old
I
man.
guess.
Yeah, I love that right there. Somebody get that dirty old man.
Right.
Oh my God. He walks in and goes, "Who are you? What are you doing? Stop this right now." Oh my God. That fucking who's the dirty old man? Get him out of here. What a great fucking line. He bursts into the fucking OR in the middle of surgery. Somebody get that dirty old man out of this operating theater. Oh my God.
I can't remember what procedure they were doing on this guy.
I don't remember.
It's like an appendix or something like that. It was something routine, I think.
Something that had to be done quickly though, because he was going to die.
He got the frag shrapnel in the chest.
Oh, okay. I thought it was something routine. Like I said, it's been a while since I've seen this.
Oh, I like this. They're trying to, shoot barbs at the fucking anesthesiologist.
Yeah.
She said, "Why don't you save your wit?" Because he's not interested in their bullshit.
Yeah.
Nothing you guys can say is going to fucking faze me. Passing gas for the congressman's son. You play golf? No, I have no time. A little crude hospital for kids.
Yeah, I like the thing that the little kiddies hospital is financed by a whorehouse.
Yes.
Yeah.
And both things function in the same building.
Yeah.
It's a bit
Banging
like in
and cutting.
Shogun when he gets the area to build his church and they're already building a whorehouse next to it.
Uh-oh, here come the MPs. Look out.
And they walk him right into the room where they were going anyway.
Yep.
They are. It's a dark, satirical fucking song.
It brings on many
changes.
Yep.
Yeah. When did you figure it out? I don't know. I think it was the woman. You got us. God. The sardonic humor in this film. I fucking love it. We don't blame you. What if the Korean War, the most popular war?
Right. These guys are too much, man.
And a lot of the delivery, by the way, and I want to point this out, this is something that this director loved to do, that sometimes you'd have to listen a couple times to catch some of the jokes, because a lot of the jokes were delivered mumbled, and they did the same thing with Popeye.
Yeah.
He also did it with The Player. In fact, my favorite joke in The Player is the fact that at the opening of the film, Fred Ward and what is his name? Shawshank Redemption actor, kid.
Tim Robbins?
Tim Robbins are walking along, having a long conversation. The camera, it's one shot. Camera follows them. And in the conversation, they're talking about the opening scene from the movie with Charlton Heston as a Mexican cop and Orson Welles, Touch of Evil. And he goes, yeah, nobody could do that opening scene where it's just one long shot. And they did the exact same thing.
Yeah, right.
While doing it, and they went 1 minute longer than Orson Welles did with that scene. So it's meta humor. I love meta humor when it's a joke that you might not even catch if you're not paying attention.
Robert Altman is a classic film director.
Yes, mumble and talk over each other. It's something he loved about Howard Hawks. Howard Hawks is the first director to do that. Scratching his fucking mustache with his back scratcher.
Goon.
So they talk their way out of another situation. They're having dinner. I'm gonna court-martial you. No, you're not.
No, you guys need us. Sorry. And they did. They knew their stature. They knew that their job, there were very few people that could do it, and they knew they were needed.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? You're gonna drum me out, and then you won't be able to fix up your soldiers.
Then I will go back to my fucking practice.
I'll go back to my practice. Yeah,
that's right.
Which is what I want to do anyway. So. Yeah, they knew their worth, no doubt.
And this is where they save the baby, right?
Yes.
Yep.
And they have to take him to this surgery. Not the one that's at the whorehouse, but the actual surgery they were in earlier. And again, this fucking Colonel's losing his fucking mind. There he is.
And
then they fucking gas him. They hold him down and they gas him and knock him out.
I ain't got time for this.
But they do it in order to make this photo shoot of him.
Yes,
this is where they blackmail him. He ain't
That's another fucked up
them.
prank.
But it's a great prank because
this one's awesome.
Now he's got nothing on him.
Right.
Yeah.
They did it to get the upper hand on him. Yeah.
Well, yeah, this one at least is justified.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he's a prick. I met guys like that in the military and fucking hated him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here we go. Talking about movies this weekend, we got a new movie coming in. And then finally, that's how the movie ends, is with them talking about this movie within the movie.
I love when they do that.
He was one of the first meta directors, Robert Altman.
Yeah.
And I got to be honest with you, I felt he took the baton from Kubrick and did a better Kubrick films.
There's
with his humor.
There's a lot of similarities between the way their directing
styles. No, there absolutely is. It's not just a style thing. It is the use of comedy, the way they do comedy. The comedy in MASH is very similar to Dr. Strangelove, which is why I find it funny that they got Powers to play that character wearing glasses to look just like one of the characters played by
Peter Sellers. Yeah.
Peter Sellers.
Yep. The guy in the war room.
Yep.
Oh my God.
The president.
The president. God, I now that I'm thinking about it, what did he play? 3 different parts in that movie? He was
Supposedly 4.
Was it 4? Because I
It
know
was
he's the Air
supposed to be
Force
4.
guy at
And he ended up
base
not
with
doing
the
it. He did 3.
commander. And then he's the guy. He's the he's the German guy in the wheelchair in the war room, right? And then he's the president. Yeah.
Dr. Strangelove, and he's the president.
Yeah.
So here we go. Buck's angry. I mean, Duke's angry because they left without him.
Yep.
And then we cut to the scene here with Henry Blake getting the phone call from the Brigadier General. There it is. Shame on you. Shame on you. Going without him.
He's chewing their ass. Yes.
And then we cut to Henry Blake trying to make a lure, and Radar's moving around him, repeating everything before he says it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then he gives him the fucking phone, and there's the Brigadier General.
Yeah, here's the guy that they totally rook with the football game. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I have a report here, Henry, from a chief nurse, Major Houlihan. Actually, it's O'Houlihan.
O'Houlihan.
Here. But her name is Houlihan. But
Yeah.
for some reason, he called her O'Houlihan. She makes some accusations, Henry, I find pretty hard to believe. Then don't believe them.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you, Radar. You're welcome, sir. And then when he walks past him with the phone line, he took the fucking lure out of his hand. So he's like, where's my lure? It was in my hand a second ago. Fucking great. It got stuck on the fucking wire. I love that. Yeah, here we go. Glory Brigade. With Greek bayonets like bazookas, bullets. And these are the original scripts that were used to promote stuff like that. And he threw this stuff in there. It gave it an interesting feel.
Yeah. I had to get up out of my bar chair. It was killing me.
So the general shows up. And yes, I know where he is. They got their fucking still out in the open.
Yeah. Once again, they know their worth. They're not going to kick them out for it.
So Houlihan won't let them play football.
Yep.
And he's like, what? Look at that face.
Play football.
He's a big football guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he starts touting how great his team was and all that stuff.
Yeah, Christopher was the better. Yeah, we're missing dialogue here.
Sorry.
Because it becomes a challenge. He goes, you put your team against my team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then they decide to wager on it, right?
Yep.
Dr. Oliver Harmon Jones. The Ringer.
And that guy in the background kind of reminds me of Flag from the TV series.
Right. Yeah. The sunglasses.
The kerchief around
Comes
the neck
and goes
under
like
the collar.
the wind, right?
My
Colonel
favorite
Flag.
of all of those is they're all in the office, Potter's office. And he goes, now, if you don't mind, will everyone close your eyes? They're like, why? He says, I like to come and go as the wind, and I can't have you seeing me leave. And so they're like, what? Why would we want to do that? And he goes, I don't leave until you close your eyes. And then everybody just closes their eyes and covers their eyes. Then you hear the shatter of a window. And then they turn and look, and he's gone out the window, and Hawkeye walks over the window, and he looks out. He goes, well, Looks like he broke his leg.
I think the exact line was, the wind just broke his leg.
Yeah, the wind just broke his leg. That was it.
Yeah, Colonel Flagg was one of my favorite characters on that show, man. Over the top, dude. Over the
DIA.
top. CIA all the way.
No, DIA.
DIA? Go ahead. What does that stand for?
That's Army's CIA.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I used to throw the javelin. Hence, that's where he got the nickname. But it's like, no, it's a fucking racist
It's
term.
a racist freaking name. Yep. I think that's an actual football player playing him, too.
Yes, it is. There's two Browns in this film.
It might be.
Both of them football players.
Yeah.
Plus, Fran Tarkenton is in it, as is Davidson, who's a giant.
Yeah, it's Fred Williamson, the Hammer man from Kansas City. That's him. He's the one that plays Spear Chucker. His nickname was the Hammer when he was a safety for the Kansas City Chiefs. He had a film career, man. He really did. He did a lot of blaxploitation movies. You know, the Shaft kind of movies.
Plus, you have another actor in here that plays football too, as a former player, is Timothy Brown. And of course, Fran Tarkenton is in there.
Oh my God!
Former quarterback for the Vikings.
Check out. Damn, Gary. Check out Fred Williamson's IMDb page. One of the movies he's known for, you know how they always show 4 movies they're known for, is Boss and Bomb. That's the name of the movie. Boss and Bomb from the 70s. I can't say the real word, but that's the name of the movie, man. Yikes.
Boss N-word.
Yeah, that's it.
I know the film you're talking about.
Oof. I read that. I was like, holy shit.
I'm looking at some of the football players in the film. Tim Brown is in it. Ben Davidson, huge guy. He played for the Vikings too.
All right.
Joe Cap was a former pro.
Joe Cap, yeah, he was, yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, Fred Williamson's character during the football game recognizes somebody on the other team and says,
now here's a weird bit of off-stage dialogue for the film was performed by Ted Knight.
Really? Wow. The comic genius, Ted Knight. Yeah, this is where they take out the ringer for the other team right here. They knock him out.
Also, Sylvester Stallone is in this film. He has a speaking part, uncredited.
Really? Wow.
Yep. He's soldier sitting at camp table. It's in the chow hall. Fran Tarkenton plays the quarterback for the 325th evac. And of course, Fran Tarkenton was quarterback for the Vikings.
Yep. Took him to 3 Super
My God, look, he looks so much like Peter Sellers in that shot. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he does. So funny. Yeah, they totally drugged him. Remember that they shot the gun off for the end of the quarter.
Oh my God, yes.
Off like he's on a track.
Anima didn't get that joke, and
Oh my God,
I was
great.
laughing so hard because he thinks he's at a track meet,
Right.
and then the guy fires a fucking 45, and he just takes off running and plows the fucking cheerleaders down.
Yep.
Goes cheerleader bowling.
So great, man. Damn. There he is.
Blame my being from Europe for not getting some of the jokes.
I know. It's just you don't get the joke.
Yeah.
I'm not mocking you.
At least not now.
What, they
No,
don't have
not with
track
that.
meets in Europe?
I mock you with other stuff. Another actor that's in this that's known for playing nerdy characters is Danny Goldman. I forgot he's in this too. He plays one of the doctors.
Houlihan running the cheerleaders is just too damn funny. Nobody's listening to her.
And she's also cheering at the wrong moments.
Right, yeah.
Their team scored. They just hit our guy.
It's too good.
Well, her character is from the upper crust.
Yeah.
Same with Frank Burns.
Wouldn't know anything about this stuff, right? Who is this guy?
Hair.
Yeah, they don't put him into the second half, right?
Look at that. He was playing when I was a teen, and that dude lost his hair.
Yep. Well, you know, a lot of those football players lose their hair early because of the helmet. You know.
Now, I was going to tell you something interesting, that Gary Berghoff tried to serve in the military and volunteered, but a lot of people don't know is that he has a malformed left hand and a club foot, and the military wouldn't take him.
Yeah.
I think had it been the hand alone, they probably would have taken him, because if he's right-handed, it wouldn't impact him much, but the foot was just too much.
If you've got anything wrong with your feet, they're not going to take you.
Yeah.
Now, another interesting thing about him is the fact that he hid that from the audience.
Yeah, like Duhan.
Putting his hand under a clipboard or be sitting off to the side in a slight fist, you know, and he hid his deformed hand.
I would have never known it.
Most people didn't notice it. It was one time when they were playing football in the series, just tossing football around, and you saw him grip the ball with his malformed hand on camera. But it was so quick, a lot of people didn't notice it.
Wow.
This is a fun football. This movie is so weird.
It is so great, though. Yeah. Stuff you would never see, you'd never think you'd see in a war zone. And just, you know.
Definitely sort of not like, a typical war movie.
It's sort of like the soccer scene in Boys of Company C.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they wrote that into the movie just as an ode to this. You know what I mean?
Good question. It's only a couple of years later, too.
Yeah.
It was the first serious Vietnam War film.
That's my favorite movie about Vietnam because I always think of my father as a drill sergeant in the scene where he's chewing Washington's ass. When Washington is trying to get him to get those guys out of the brig and bring them back. And he's telling him, I've got one hell of a shitty damn job here, Washington. I've got to take 30 to 40 buckets of civilian shit and turn them into Marines in 8 weeks. He said, I got 8 weeks to teach these people what it took you 20 years on the street to learn. You know? I always think of my dad when I see that scene. It's Lee Ermey, you know, when he was still young when he was in that movie.
This is back before he had his teeth fixed, too.
Yep. That's my single favorite scene in that movie, man. I always think of my dad whenever I see that, because my dad.
And I got to tell you, if I don't think he would have got Gunny Sergeant Hart if Kubrick had known about that movie.
Yeah. Why do you say that?
Because he would have been casting to play the same role, and he would have been afraid of comparisons.
Oh, I got you.
You go. There he is. That's the scene.
That is the scene right there. Yeah. He takes his hat off. He asked him, "Can you take your hat off?" He said, "If it'll help you out, I'll be glad to take it off."
Also, notice the fucked up tooth. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Before he got his teeth fixed.
Yeah.
That's what
Love
chewing
that
tobacco does.
Have you done that movie on this show? That's one you need to do on this one.
It's on my list. I have it as a thumbnail.
I've got the Blu-ray copy of it. A buddy of mine that was ex-military just like me, he knows that's my favorite one, and he gave it to me for Christmas one year. He found a Blu-ray copy of it. I showed it 2 years ago on Twitch when I first started streaming hardcore for Memorial Day. I showed it over on Twitch. Yeah, this
is great. This is
Yeah.
great. Tuck it under your shirt. It gets the center. Act like you give it to me. I'm going to turn, and you're going to tuck it under your shirt and just walk.
Just walk. That's all you got to do. Just don't take it out. He totally rooks these guys, man. This is too much. Yes, they totally cheat to win this football game. No doubt about it. From using drugs to take out the ringer player, and they had their own ringer, right? That they didn't put in until the second half, right? Man, too much.
You would not believe this, Monkey. There is an Eddie Deason fan club. I never fucking liked that guy. It would be an illegal play almost anywhere else.
Yes.
Because the ball has to be in constant play. And if you hide it, it's not in play. Yeah, that's another film that plays on the whole football thing, European football, soccer.
Yes.
And he could not. Stallone could not do a lot of the moves he wanted to. And they couldn't let him do it because he just wasn't any good. So what they did is they got a mask of Stallone and had another guy put it on when he would do the special blocking moves as a goalie.
What the fuck? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh. Man, oh,
hey, Nadia's here.
Nadia's here. Yes.
Nadia.
Hi, Nadia.
And it ends very shortly after the football game. Not much left to the movie after that.
No, we're pretty much, this is the wrap up now. They've completed all the fucking tasks, and now he's got orders. We can go. Duke, you and I can leave. Duke goes, let me ask the other doctor to close up, and he goes, you can close up. So he's like, I got to finish this patient. And so Hawkeye's leaving. And this is also where it's revealed to everybody that she and Duke have been having a relationship.
Oh, no, it happened a little before, but here's when you see that she cares.
Yeah,
because the way she's looking at him, they go, "What? You leaving?" It's when they just came from Japan, and the first thing they do is to go to the operating room, and then they want to sleep, go to their barracks, and Duke is hushing her out from the back.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's funny. And then they catch her. They catch her leaving. I love that. They're standing there, and Trapper John's like,
you see,
doing that. And that's her in the background watching. You can tell Sally Kellerman from a mile away with that blonde hair. Here's where they're talking about the movie within the movie. The announcer is talking about this weekend we'll be seeing the war film MASH, starring
Yep.
Tom Skerritt, Sally Keller, just announcing it on the film.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's brilliant.
Well, it made for a short credit list.
Right.
That is clearly the inspiration for Flag.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's character. Because you know who he's meant to look like.
No,
MacArthur.
Right? No, he's meant to look like a famous writer.
Oh.
That was lampooned in a comic strip called Doonesbury. And he's had 2 movies made about him. The first one was called Where the Buffalo Roam. And the second one was called something about Las Vegas with Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Playing him. He's the Gonzo writer from Rolling Stone. And that's who I think he's meant to look like. In the Doonesbury comic, he was called Duke.
All I know is that the Depp movie is.
That's it.
off
Fear
the
and Loathing
chain.
in Las Vegas. There
Fear
you
and
go.
Loathing in Las Vegas. That movie's off the chain right there.
Boom, baby. Monkey got it. You get 1,000 points. Hunter S. Thompson.
That's him. Yep.
I don't know Rum Punch, but I love Where the Buffalo Roam. The crazy attorney friend is played by Peter Boyle in that film. So, but MASH is just a classic movie. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of forgot how much I enjoyed it watching it this weekend. Like, I really do enjoy that again. I'll have to check out Rum Punch.
You definitely see the similarities with Kubrick's style of directing. Half of it looks like it's a documentary. It looks like
it's like he was a student of Kubrick's.
Mm-hmm.
And he took off because Kubrick, he had done drama and then he suddenly did this comedy, Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Love and Live with the Bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And Kubrick had something in that film, and Altman took that and ran with it. And that was sort of his style. And I love Altman's work, man. The Player, I freaking love that movie. I love Popeye. I love this movie. But Altman's done some other films that kind of surprised me. Let me look it up real quick. Robert Altman. Some films that he did that just sort of really caught me off guard. Now, I didn't like everything he did. I didn't like Gosford Park.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sucked.
Prairie Home Companion was meh. It was like his last movie. I didn't like Dr. T and the Women. I didn't think it was that good a film.
Never heard of it.
But there were some films he did early on that just sort of surprised me. He did the movie Vincent and Theo, and then he made the TV series or mini-series.
Mm-hmm.
A year apart. I loved his version of the Caine Mutiny. It was a TV movie. Very
I forgot
good.
he did that. Yep.
Oh my God, this was a play that I was in, and I loved this movie, even though they changed the script. Beyond Therapy with Jeff Goldblum, Glenda Jackson, and Julie Haggerty. Fun little film. Off the wall. Trying to find some of the films that he did that people would be surprised he did. Quintet, a science fiction film. Paul Newman. That was one. Pretty good film. It was one of the first films to talk about the mini ice age that we were being threatened by. Another great one he did, Buffalo Bill and the Indians, or Sitting Bull's History Lesson. Paul Newman again.
Wow.
He did the California Split. Good film. Oh, here is my absolute favorite. Again, with the mumbling. And this is the first film with Arnold Schwarzenegger called The Long Goodbye. It was his take on Philip Marlowe with Elliot Gould as Philip Marlowe. And I absolutely have a thumbnail for that because I want to do that film so much. I love that movie. I love that.
I don't think I've seen that one.
The Long Goodbye?
The Long Goodbye.
Haven't we watched that?
No.
Sounds familiar.
It's where he's like constantly trying to feed his cat. You know, he's mumbling. He goes, well, I would take it. It's just like fucking Altman is fucking mumbling characters. And when you go back and you listen to some of the things that he's saying when he's mumbling, it's just fucking funny. The McCabe and Mrs. Miller, great Western. Brewster McCloud, another good one.
Really? I didn't know that. He's a graduate of the Roger Corman School of Film. Really? Wow. Some great filmmakers came out of that school.
He directed 10 episodes of the TV show Combat. He worked on several episodes of Bonanza. He got his start doing Western and military TV shows. The Hawaiian Eye. Love that show. But, you know, he did this obscure stuff and Westerns and very straightforward films, you know. McCabe and Mrs. Miller is a pretty straightforward Western. It's dark, but it's pretty straightforward. And he did a little film with Keith Carradine called Thieves Like Us, which was a good film too. About bank robbery in the 1930s during the Depression.
Said Keith Carradine. Was that the father of the Carradine brothers?
Keith is the young middle of the brothers.
He's the middle brother.
Middle brother, yeah. You got David, then Keith, and then the youngest from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
What
and this is also an early film for Shelley Duvall.
Really?
What's that?
Said,
John Carradine.
John Carradine.
John Carradine.
Yeah.
I always forget the youngest brother's name. He's in so many things. He's in Revenge of the Nerds, all that shit.
Revenge of the Nerds, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, let's find out his name then.
Dynasty of fucking actors.
Mm-hmm.
But The Long Goodbye is a favorite film of mine.
Batman's Girl is here.
Hey, Vickman's Girl, how you doing? Roger Corman reuses footage more than Don Cascarelli and the Phantasm movies. Yeah.
The Phantasm movies.
That's right.
Funny.
The Roger Corman School of Filmmaking.
Robert Carradine.
I love Altman. I really do.
Robert Carradine is the guy's name.
And if you've never seen the Paul Newman film, yep, that's him. If you've never seen Buffalo Bill and the Indians or Sitting Bull's History Lesson with Paul Newman, it is a must-see film. It's, again, with the humor in a weird way. And it's just an obscure film that nobody ever seems to remember or give the love that it deserves.
Hey, if it's got Paul Newman in it, I'll watch it.
It was the film he did right before he did The Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean, which is another favorite Western of mine.
Yep.
When he shoots a hole through a guy, you got to realize the story is being told to you by an unreliable narrator. So you get these really bizarro moments in the film, like when he shoots the guy with the shotgun and you're looking through the hole at Judge Roy Bean from the distance with the smoking gun.
Right.
Crazy fucking moment in that movie. Shit you not. I fucking love that film. So, but that's it, guys. We talked about MASH. I love that movie.
It's great.
And again, the film led to Gilbert turning it into a TV series, Larry Gilbert. Gilbert did not get along with Altman. Altman did not like what he did with the TV series, nor did the author of the book, but the author didn't like Altman's take on MASH.
I was fixing to say, he didn't like either one of them, did he?
The TV series was closer to the book than the film. but it left out all the real cheeky hijinks that these guys would do when they would go get leave. And of course, the TV series lasted longer than the actual Korean War. Like
Yeah,
3 times longer. And but it's still a great series. I love the series.
If you remember, the final episode was it set the record for the most viewers for a live television show, which is hard to do against sports from any era. And it was for a long time. It was the #1 watch show live ever.
I watched it. Charlie and I watched it together.
Yeah.
My buddy Charlie. And it was emotional. I got emotional watching it.
Well, they set it up that way with the couple of episodes previous to it, when they started making Alda start to lose his mind, if you remember.
Yep.
The episode with the chicken and
it's not a chicken, it's a baby.
It's a baby, yeah. Mm-hmm. They set it up rather well.
It was the baby. When we did Keith and I did a special episode, and we did the whole this week at a very special episode of Pop Culture Minefield. It cuts to Hawkeye going, "It was a baby."
Wow. That psychiatrist, by the way, was one of my favorite characters on that show.
I don't remember who played him.
Oh God, because they were always doing things together whenever he showed up there to do something. Remember, they loved
him, the Jewish actor. Yeah,
right.
Great.
The psychiatrist.
He played a Jewish doctor.
Yeah, hang on, I'll find out who it is. But that's one of the great things about that television show was the side characters that would show up, like Flag and the psychiatrist. And that was some of the best things on the show. Was the guest stars.
It was Alan Burris played the part.
Yeah.
And
what was the name?
Alan Burris is his real name.
No, I'm talking about the character.
Major Sidney Friedman.
Sidney Friedman. That's it. Yep. One of my favorite characters on this show. Because he called everybody on their bullshit.
Getting info.
He called everybody on their bullshit in that show. But he didn't do it in a way where he made people look small doing it. He'd laugh at them when he was calling them on it. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool.
Absolutely. Well, he was a likable character. He's affable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important. You need to be somewhat affable if you're going to interact with people like that. Yeah. In 1971, there was a film exec produced by Spielberg, which he was not credited for, starring young Costner and Judd Nelson, called Fandango. No, I knew about that one. It's actually not that bad a film. It's not great. It's just not that bad. But yeah, Spielberg executive produced it, but he's not credited. What?
Isn't that a road trip movie?
Yeah, because the main character is getting ready to ship off to Vietnam.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they're giving him his last hurrah. Shirley says, "Ladies and gentlemen, take my advice. Pull down your pants and slide on the ice."
There's another movie that has that same kind of theme. Tony Danza's in it, and Robert Wool. He was a comedian back then, called Hollywood Nights, and I can't remember the actor.
Oh, I remember that movie. Yeah.
Yeah, but one of them was going to Vietnam the next day, and they actually mentioned. He said, they're just sending advisors over there. I'm not going to be going, And it was pretty interesting. It was like the last nights of this car club, and it was great movie. Funny.
Yeah, Robert Wool. He brought him up. People know him best for being on the TV series Arliss and playing the reporter in Batman the movie.
1989 Batman. Yep, that was him.
Yeah,
but he was a great stand-up comedian, man. If you want to laugh your ass off, watch the part of his stand-up from HBO years ago where he breaks down Born to Run by freaking The Boss. And, at the time they were thinking about making it the state song of New Jersey. And he said, let's break this song down and see if you really want to have it as your state song. Baby, this town will pull the bones from your back. He's breaking it down. It was hilarious. Robert Wuhl was a really good stand-up comedian. He was funny.
I need to check some. What year did that come out? 1980?
Which one?
79? 80?
Oh, Hollywood Nights?
Hollywood Nights.
Hang on. I've got it in my physical inventory. Hollywood Nights. And it's Knight.
Yeah.
Hollywood Nights came out in 1980. Yep. That's it. 1980.
Had an amazing soundtrack. I remember the music in that movie.
Michelle Pfeiffer, when she was a kid, she was Danza's girlfriend, the sock hop waitress with the go-go boots.
Some of the songs in that film was "Fun, Fun, Fun" by the Beach Boys.
Yep.
Bob Ran by the Beach Boys. "One Fine Day" by the Chiffons. "Sherry" by Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. "Going Out of Mind." You got me going out of my mind.
And don't forget Volare by Robert Wuhl himself and his
Bobby Rido, yeah. Ragdoll is in it. Little Darling, Surf City, He's So Fine, Shaboom. Oh my God, so many. Baby Love.
It was a great movie,
my God, Wooly Bully is in it. Surfing USA.
It's all about the hot rod culture of the 60s, man. Yeah, it's great stuff.
My favorite version of Surfing USA is Skeet Shooting USA.
Yes.
From
Skeet Surfing.
From the movie Top Secret. Skeet Surfing.
Yeah, Skeet Surfing.
Skeet Surfing.
And sung by Val Kilmer.
There you go.
In the Midnight Hour by Wilson Pickett. Hello, Dolly by Louis Armstrong. My God, California Dreamin'.
Hey, Chinook's in the house.
That's a great movie, Gary. It really is. It's fantastic. I watch it at least once a year. Whenever I want to laugh, I pull out Hollywood Nights and put it on. I mean, the hazing of the guys that want to join the club, where they drop them off in Watts with nothing but a tire apiece. There's 4 of them, and they have to make it to this radio station and give a dedication live before 2 o'clock in the morning, and then get back to the car club. And they have no clothes and just a tire. That's another movie that couldn't be made today. There's no way. No way they could make that movie.
And it actually had a theme song called Hollywood Nights.
Yep.
And I'm trying to remember, because I don't think it's the one I'm thinking of, so I need to hear it real quick.
Go, man.
Hey, look who's here.
Hi, Tim.
What's up, Tim?
And hi, Shanatsky.
You got to play the new video.
Both so late.
I don't know if the new video is in here. I think
What?
it's
Probably not.
no.
To all the people
it's not.
joining us late, you're so lucky that Gary sucks at ending a show.
I think it's me. I tend to send him off on
I get
tangents.
no help from anybody, so you can save that.
Well, I can end the show right now. We're just pressing a button and kill the stream.
As could I.
Would you guys like a little cheese with that wine?
I'm not whining. I'm
No,
just.
I think it's funny because when I first met you guys on Pop Culture Minefield, Gary was doing the endless wrap-ups. He would talk about wrapping the show and then would go on for another hour, and we were teasing him in the chat.
Joe triggers that thing with me because he's ADD, so it triggers my ADD.
I just, the first thing I think of, whenever we're talking about a movie, I start thinking of my favorite thing with that other person, and all of a sudden it becomes 6 Degrees to Kevin Bacon, and we're talking about everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here you go.
By what name are you known?
There are some who call me... No, now go away or I shall taunt you a second time.
Too much.
I had some fun making that. I was going to try to listen to the song. It wouldn't play. There we go. Yeah, it's got that cruising feel to it. The Hollywood Nights song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an ode to the old car clubs of the 60s, man. It's good.
Yep. So, well, that's it. I'm done. I looked up the last thing I needed to look up, and I just feel the rest of this is just unnecessary. I feel like maybe I should take a pill. Big black pill.
Oh man.
Don't do it, man. The only thing
Wait,
that can save you
fall
there are
asleep and get
cats.
laid.
Don't do it.
Fall asleep and get laid. That was the plan.
but-
it didn't work. That'd be the
Only if
comedy.
you're hung like that, buddy. Only if you're hung like that. It's got to be a selling point.
That's it.
I feel like we're getting into TMI territory here, so.
It means be advised that I'm mean, nasty, and tired. I eat concertina wire and piss napalm. And I can put a round through a flea's ass at 200 meters. So you go hump somebody else's leg, mudface, before I push yours in.
All right, I want to thank everybody for being here. Snortapoopus, always good to see you, my friend. Andy Morrow, Gavin Devine, Slasher Fred, Stephen Ransom, Max Damon, Janet from Another Planet, Scribe Light, D. Bud Martin, QT Cast TV, Shirley Levis here, old friend of mine. It's good to see you. Monkey Jeebus, thank you. Come again. Nadia was here. The Peter Vickman fan site, and of course, Shinatsky. Did I forget anybody? I think I got everybody. That's not a rhetorical question.
No. It's...
Okay. It's not like I was trying. Hi, Vic, my girl. Glad I made you laugh.